Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who review. Today I am going to review The Empire of Death, which is the last episode of Season 1 of Doctor Who from 2024. So yeah, let's talk about it because I've got a lot of things to say. Allons-y! So yeah, The Empire of Death just, released a few days ago on whatever, of maybe a day or two ago. By the time you're watching this video, obviously. And yeah, I've got a lot of things to say about it. I'm not quite sure why. Like, the overall season was really great. There were a lot of secrets to be told. Like, sometimes the Doctor would break the fourth wall. Sometimes Mrs. Flood would break the fourth wall. Sometimes we need to find out who the mother of Ruby was. We need to find out who the He Who Waited, yeah. This character who remained a mystery throughout the season, but he was supposed to be revealed. Obviously he was Sutekh the Destroyer, the one who waits. He waited to kill the Doctor or to destroy the universe, something like that. Yeah, obviously we had the mysteries about the snowing bits where Ruby makes it snow for some reason. I don't know, can you make it snow? Can I make it snow? No, Ruby is still normal humans, so weird. Okay, whatever. There were no big sacrifices made at the season final. I'm not quite sure why. We had the end of time and doomsday and stuff like that. Like moments where you realize, damn, something needs to go. Like Rose staying on an alternate universe or an alternate Earth. We have, for example, also in season 10, Bill Potts turning into a Cyberman. The companions going, fair enough. Ruby got her own ending now. She met her mother. We know who her mother is, a normal human. She got Ruby when she was 15, so teen pregnancy. But why? Ruby makes it snow. It doesn't make sense. She can do stuff normal people can't do. Is it because she traveled with the Doctor in the TARDIS? Maybe Sutekh kind of manipulated her? I don't know. We don't know. We also don't know how long Sutekh was on the TARDIS. He could have been there 14 years. He could have been there 3 years. He could have been there a few days. And there is no specific answer to that too. Yeah. Also, the time travel in this episode was a bit whack. I don't know. Well, alright. In the last episode, we had Sutekh taken off the TARDIS, and obviously, there we go. That, lands on this episode where Sutekh has, obviously, Susan Triad transformed into one of those skull people, those dead people, who brings the curse of death. The dust of death, I guess. It's a dust that makes everyone, die. I don't know, turn into sand and just completely vanish. Kind of Infinity War-ish, where people turn into dust too. But yeah, alright. The dust of death makes sure that the entire Earth was gone, obviously. But the Doctor and Mel and Ruby find the memory TARDIS, which was locked in the time window, and they travel along with it. They travel in it, so there are 2 TARDISes. No, wait, 3. Actually, there are 3 TARDISes on Earth. The 14th Doctor had a TARDIS, the 15th Doctor had a TARDIS, and now the memory TARDIS. Okay, yeah, what happens to the TARDIS? What happens to the memory TARDIS? That's a bit weird. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. Sure. Another loose ends that isn't really explained, but sure. Okay, so Ruby, Mel, and the Doctor need to try to save the universe, but they can't because everyone, is turning into dust because the Doctor has landed on multiple locations throughout the universe, and that dust is, multiplying itself because literally the Doctor's adventures are literally in space and time. Holy shit. He's been to the 19th century, he's been to the far future in 2046, or also the end of the universe too, so everything turns into dust. And there are a few locations that aren't turning into dust yet. So the Doctor tries to ask a woman for a spoon so he can make sure that an iPad can register something real, and that would link with the memory TARDIS and making sure it would stabilize. And I'm not quite sure. trying to talk about this, it's like one big fan fiction. I'm not quite sure. It was a great episode nonetheless. I really enjoyed it, but there were a few parts that I didn't really get. It obviously it's Doctor Who, it's fiction, right? It's made to be unrealistic, but it was really unrealistic for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Like the time window itself, I don't really get the time window itself. Maybe it's because that bit confused me, and the rest of it that connects to it also confused me. But yeah. There are a lot of questions left. We have obviously Ruby's mother. Like I said, she's a normal human. Her father is also a normal human. Why can't she make it snow? It's complicated, but I hope we're gonna get some answers in season 2, and the Christmas special that will be releasing this December. Obviously, the Joy to the World too, which is the title of the Christmas special. Obviously, season 2 will air next year, and I bloody can't wait because Ncuti Gatwa is a great Doctor. He was fantastic in these episodes in the season 2. He's a great actor. I really love his work. And to be honest, I think he's become one of my favorite Doctors. I'm not quite sure why, but he's very emotional, and I really like that the Doctor has moved on from being like the non-emotional Time Lord itself to becoming more emotional, more open, more free. I really like that bit. People might think, well, he's crying every episode, man. Holy shit, and that's not a Doctor. Yeah, well, the Doctor moved on. He had therapy, as they said in the giggle. Okay. Interesting. Millie Gibson, aka Ruby Sunday, was also great in this episode. She had some great scenes, like when she, dropped the iPad because Sutekh wants to know who her mother was. Still weird, like, why does a god of death want to know who someone's mother is that is clearly human? Like, maybe Sutekh couldn't see her. Okay, yeah, sure, but eventually he kills everyone, right? He's the god of death, so does not make no sense. I'm not quite sure why, but whatever. Alright, yeah. At the end of the episode, the Doctor puts Sutekh on a leash, kind of like a dog, and travels with him throughout the time vortex and makes sure he has, death to death, which makes life. Okay, yeah, okay, I understand why. If you have death, and after death there is life. Okay, I understood that, alright. So the Doctor makes sure that Sutekh makes life itself again. Alright. And makes sure that everyone who died and turned into dust became life itself again. Okay, fair enough. Sutekh, disintegrates. He's gone forever, probably. After 40 years, he's dead. Probably, hopefully. Probably not. He will return eventually down the line in 20 years or something in another, Big Finish audio podcast or audio adventure or whatever. But yeah, Sutekh is gone for now. Alright. Yeah, there are a lot of different, details and Easter eggs that the Doctor mentioned, like the Ood sphere, the home planet of the Oods. Yeah, very nice. I love the Oods. Hopefully they're going to return one day. We have Scarrow and the Daleks. They're really nice. I would love to see Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor react and try to talk with some Daleks and have an adventure with that. Would be fantastic, obviously. Yeah. Ruby has met her mother now. She knows who her mother is now, and she is happy now. She stays with her mom and her adoptive mom and her grandma. They're really interesting. Mrs. Flood is kind of weird. she talks to the camera yet again at the end of the episode, where she said, "Well, the Doctor is gonna have a terrific ending. Oh no, night night." And the episode ends like, alright, yeah, sure. But that bit reminded me of Ramona, which is obviously a friend of the Doctor's. But Mrs. Flood breaks the fourth wall, knows what a TARDIS is, and she's like this all-knowing being. Like, maybe she is a storyteller, maybe, yes. But yeah, Mrs. Flood is one big mystery, and she's going to appear in season 2. So hopefully we're going to have that mystery solved in season 2 too. Alright. Empire of Death. Itself, the story is great. Sutekh is really interesting. I wished and I hoped that Sutekh would have returned with like some kind of mask, some kind of human form, but he didn't. He's literally like a jackal, right? This dog creature. Yeah, okay, well, Sutek itself, he looked very terrific and very menacing and very, evil, but he didn't really do a lot. Like, his creature itself, he just literally clamped on the TARDIS and just stood there while being menacing and stuff like that. His minions did a lot of things for him, like the skeleton person Susan Triad, and the Harbinger also did a few things inside the TARDIS itself. She got like blown away from the TARDIS, like Death Star style, to like, to bits and pieces, whatever. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to think of it. I think this season overall was great. A lot of different new ideas. Russell T Davies, you absolutely nailed it. You did it fantastic. But I hoped we've got more like answers. Obviously, hopefully we're going to get more season 2 to explain the things that happen. Like, obviously, we all hoped for Susan Foreman to return, because the Doctor literally mentioned her in every episode of the season almost, I believe she was mentioned in The Devil's Court and Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death. Like, come on, we wanted to see her, but we didn't, and that was such a shame, because Carol Ann Ford is still alive, hopefully, thank God, for many years too. And the Doctor and Susan reuniting, that would be one fantastic, really great story. Maybe Russell T Davies is planning something with the 15th Doctor, and maybe his death being so dramatic and so dangerous that maybe Susan needs to help him. And I don't want Susan to be regenerated too. Like, I hope Carol Ann Ford will return as Susan and then, regenerate into a newer and younger body, because we all know Susan, or Carol Ann Ford won't, live like for another 30 years. Like, we need to take advantage of that. So, Empire of Death. Yeah. It was enjoyable. It was good. It was interesting. It was mysterious. Yeah, that's all I've got to say, actually. I think it could have been better. That's for sure. Like, the 56-minute episode length of Empire of Death was alright, but things were still stuck, yeah. I think Russell T Davies had an idea that he's been cooking for almost 30 years, that he said, but, like, we also have a kind woman not doing a lot, just giving a spoon to the Doctor and dying. We all thought that was going to be something interesting, something special. Maybe that was going to be Ruby's mum, but it wasn't. Yeah. Am I disappointed? A bit. But I still do think that this season was one gigantic experimental season, trying to do different episodes. Every, thing with the Doctor Who season is it needs to be special, it needs to be unique, and obviously Ncuti Gatwa is a flippin' fantastic Doctor, one of my favorites. I think maybe a third favorite, but we're not quite sure. Maybe after his era, I can literally say that, but we still need to wait a few years, and by the time he's going to stop, I'll be long older. I'll be older, so hopefully Ncuti will still be a fantastic Doctor in the future, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll stay on for 2 more years, like the 3-year rule every Doctor almost had. But yeah, I think overall, like I said, it was interesting, good episode, very great scenes too. Like, oh yeah, the obviously the time TARDIS, the TARDIS with the memory TARDIS also appeared. Fantastic! I really loved that. Like the tales of the TARDIS and Doctor Who just merging together, and it's great. It's good. It's nice. That was nice. We had details, Easter eggs, and references, which is nice. Yeah, but overall, this season was really, really interesting. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for my review for the Empire of Death. Or that's, I just blabbered on about it, but I think it was, it was approved. It was a great season, and this episode was pretty okay. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye, everyone, or should I say, Doctor, I'll let you go. And on Z.